This is Roland Campos. After years of living in New York City,
He's experienced it all.
from burgers to bonbons, Roland has taken more than a bite out of the Big Apple. He comes to you today.
Ready to rate all of New York City's food.
This is the Food Court.
Welcome back to another edition of Roland's Food Court. I'm Roland Campos, your host. Tonight we have a great show for you. We have Mark Rosati, Culinary Director of Shake Shack. He'll be stopping by later on to give us all the insights of Shake Shack. They're taking over the world. And if you want to follow us at Rolandos99. And also our Instagram is at Roland's Food Court. And also you can check us out at YouTube at Roland's Food Court as well. And SiriusXM on demand. As always, my compadre, who always runs late, he tries. Carl Ruiz, you can follow him at Carl Ruiz on Twitter and on Instagram if you're over 18. Carl, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, what's up, man?
As always, because
I'm excited about that Shake Shack guy.
I am excited to try I hope they bring food so I can have not only lunch and dinner, a little bit of take home too.
So, like, it's tapas.
You like tapas.
Okay, good.
And I hope that they bring enough French fries and burgers for everybody. Or just for you and I.
It'll never be enough.
Yeah, no, it'll never be enough. If they bring my milkshake, I'll be pretty pissed off, I'll tell you right now.
Oh,
How have you been, Carl?
I'm good, man. Just running around. Just came back from Cali. Did some cool stuff.
Ooh,
Can't talk about it.
You can't talk about it right now?
But you're going to like it.
Oh. Is it, can we talk about it soon, or?
Talk about it soon, yeah. January.
Oh, nice. How's your restaurants been?
My restaurants are good. My wife runs them, so we're almost getting divorced every half hour.
So if people want to go to your restaurants, what are they on Instagram and Twitter?
I don't know. So, Marie's Deli.
Marie's Deli.
At Marie's Deli. And at Marie's Chicken Joint.
I went there once last summer with Eric. It was very delicious.
It was good.
I miss it.
Eric was being very serious that day.
Yeah, he was. He was
He
sad.
had his food face on.
He was serious. He was like,
I think he had some landscaping issues at Casa Eric.
I think so. Hey, Carl, I was looking up some food items that hit the news wire. Did you hear about the Domino's customer returned $1,300 she found in her chicken wing order? Would you have done that?
Wait a second. She returned cash money?
She returned cash money. She opened her Domino's pizza box, which I don't know why you ordered chicken wings from there, but she opened it. And she found $1,300 and gave it back to Domino's.
First of all, you should be fined $1,300 for eating Domino's chicken wings.
And in return, she can have wings free for a year from Domino's.
So then, oh good. So now she gets to get stomach cancer? That's her gift?
Yeah, I just didn't. It doesn't sound too appetizing. I was like, ugh.
I would never give it back. Ever in a million years. I will never give anything back.
And then also, our friend David Chang is creating a new line of milk, finally.
Please don't tell me this is the cereal milk story.
The cereal
Oh,
milk.
I want to jump into a river.
How awesome is it?
Yeah, really awesome.
You have coffee milk, cereal milk, strawberry milk, and chocolate cereal milk. Sounds very delicious. Oh, and they have cornflake milk, too. I'm so excited.
The end of the world is coming.
What is it? It's the cereal milk. It's kind of like when we were kids. When you eat the cereal and what's left over, you drink it. But David Chang somehow put it in a form where you could just buy it and then it tastes like when you were kids, like the cornflake milk.
So I was with this chef this weekend in California, and he made me a French toast, and he made whipped cream out of cereal milk.
Ooh.
For the French toast. Oh my God, dude, it was so good.
Yeah, sometimes Shane also will during the summertime will infuse his cereal milk and make it into kind of like a yogurt form, like a yogurt type.
Right.
But it's so good. Like he did Fruity Pebbles.
Can he do any wrong, David Chang?
I think he is the Teflon of the food world.
He's like the Hillary Clinton of you can't get in trouble.
It's like him and his buddy did that pop-up restaurant they did on Twitter, like jokingly.
Right.
And it was just a joke.
Right.
And then they go, oh, okay, we'll actually do it. We'll charge $2.25 a ticket, and sold out in minutes. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll do it.
Right.
Because we made thousands of dollars.
Unbelievable.
And thank you for being silly little people.
Dude, talking about the news real quick. Remember last year we did a show with the girl from
Sarma. Yeah.
Let's talk about Sarma.
Yeah, she is.
She's missing, dude.
She's missing. Yeah, it was
Explain to everybody who Sarma is.
Sarah Malgalis. She was years ago. She worked for Bain Capital, and then she opened Food and Wine. Is that
Pure Food and Wine,
Pure Food and Wine
on Irving Place, 52 Irving, I think it was.
I thought it would be an awesome idea to book her, Michael Simon, and David Burke together, two carnivores and a vegetarian.
Right.
And when she came in here, she was quiet, but
hot.
But hot. Very hot. But her and Simon kind of got it added together because she goes, meat's bad. And then Simon goes, no, it's not.
No.
And then she goes, well, I believe in the pure from feeding from the ground, the roots. And then he goes, no, you should eat meat. And Simon goes, I believe in paying my employees. She goes, I'm not.
That's silly talk.
That's silly. Yeah, I just read that
She's gone, dude.
She's gone. Yeah, and I reached out to her a few months ago, and she wrote back, super busy. And I thought, oh, okay. And then,
super busy disappearing.
Yeah, because apparently she owes money to her employees, and her employees reopened the restaurant, apparently, to make back the money.
But then it closed again.
It closed again, yeah.
Wow.
It's a weird story. Nobody knows where she's at. Or
we were the last interview.
Yeah, we were the last interviews. We should replay that. And
we should.
And maybe they can find maybe telltales. I think David Burke had the best exit out of the food court. I'm out of here, assholes.
Food court last year was a completely different animal. We just drank the whole time.
We drink. I do remember that one where he just passed out. And
now
then
this year is like the newer and gentler food court. Like we have cupcakes and
we're gonna get burgers, fries,
right?
And we have coffee now.
We have coffee now, and there's Hawaiian punch here, which is my favorite. Non-carbonated drinks is the new rage.
And there's also another story we can ask Mark when he gets here about Danny Meyer's rumored to open Shake Shack in Bedford Avenue.
In Williamsburg.
Hipster Avenue.
The aging hipsters are in Williamsburg. The real ones now are like, I think it's cool to live like outside of New York. They live like in Afghanistan.
Yeah, also
they telecommute.
They're also opening up a Parm and a Whole Foods all in the same block.
That's it. Oh, Williamsburg's done. Bye.
It's over. And then now it's that bacon scare. Did you hear about that now?
What's the matter? That bacon causes cancer?
Yeah, and I think Michael Simon goes, I don't think so.
Even if it does, I mean, I don't
it's
care.
Delicious.
I'm going to have cancer. I don't care.
I'd say more bacon for us.
I just don't think, I don't care.
You don't
How
care?
about that?
It sounds delicious. I love bacon.
And anyway, who's the WHO? The World Health Organization?
I think so. I don't know. I eat popcorn.
I don't trust them. Remember when they messed everything up with Dustin Hoffman in that movie?
Which one?
Outbreak?
Oh, yeah.
It was their fault. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey goes,
they're not here.
They're bad bastards.
Right.
All right. Before we get into Mark stopping by, we're going to slow things down and we're going to get to know the Mad Cuban, my friend here, Carl Ruiz.
Yes.
Carl, we always call you Mad Cuban and then we just go into the show. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where'd you start from? And I know you have a rich history in the food world.
And I was like 13, 12. My grandfather told me, hey, listen, your mother and your grandmother tell you you're special. You're not. Your brother, now he's special. He goes, you got to learn how to cook because you're pretty dumb. You know what I mean? You got to start getting a job pretty soon. And that's it. I started cooking really young. And my grandfather was right. My brother ended up being a cardiothoracic surgeon. And when he was graduating at Harvard, my grandfather touches my shoulder and he says, see, I told you he was special. You fat idiot.
So during Thanksgiving, they'll like high five him. They go, Carl, more mashed potatoes.
Exactly. I'm like the personal chef of the house. It's great.
Who was your mentor when you first started out in the industry?
The first guy that really explained to me what it was all about was this guy. He was crazy, but he was great. His name was Steve Santoro. He's got a restaurant out in Ridgewood, New Jersey now. I mean, one of the old school chefs, right? Not these new chefs that have more tattoos than talent. You know what I mean? Like this guy was like hardcore CIA instructor. You know, the real thing. He knew how to make everything from top to bottom. And he gave me a job when I was like 15 and he worked me like a mule.
So basically you started from the bottom, basically clean toilets to the kitchen.
Right.
And then you eat everything in between.
Yeah, and now I'm still kind of at the bottom a little bit.
When did you do that shift of, because you started cooking, then you shift to consulting. How did you do that shift?
Well, what happens is I was cooking and I saw that consulting made a lot more money than cooking. Plus, I have ADD and stuff, so it's great. So you consult, you get the restaurant perfect, and then you leave just before the thing blows up. You know what I mean? And I just loved consulting, and I had a very particular skill. So I would go in and fix restaurants. So the restaurant owners would hire me as a dishwasher, and I would only speak Spanish. So I would go into the basement
For intel.
Yeah, and I would wash dishes for a week, and at the end of the week, I knew everything. Like the manager coming downstairs, and he'd look at me and go, "Hey, amigo, por favor, put this wine in my car." I'm like, "Sí, no problema," and I would take it, and I'm like, "Wow, this guy's stealing wine using me, the consultant."
Well, is it like some restaurants come up to you saying we're losing hundreds of thousands and we don't know where the hole is?
If you ever want to find out how a restaurant's losing money, go to the lowest common denominator, which is the dishwasher, right? It's like a human body, a restaurant, and that's the butt. That's everything goes out through there. So that's where you're going to figure it out. So I would see everything.
When you were doing the consulting, was there ever like the first day you go, I know what this is? He's stealing.
Right.
He has no idea that's going on.
Right. It's always someone stealing. The worst ones, the easiest ones to fix are when it's employees. The worst ones, it's like when you have like a lot of partners and stuff, and then like, all right, guys, I know what the problem is, but you're not going to like it because it's you. You know what I mean? So there's sometimes I got paid not to find the solution. You know what I mean?
When you go look at a restaurant and you find it, do they come to you or do you go to them, or how does that work?
It's all word of mouth, right? And I've never not had work. And it's just people that you help, and they talk to each other. Restaurant owners talk to each other because they carry the same hours. It's like hairdressers. You'll see them at the bar on Monday all together.
Yeah, it seems like people, like my dad's in the restaurant industry too. People don't realize once it becomes a family. It becomes
small world.
Another member of a family.
Right.
Where you take care of it. I was 8 years old going to a birthday party. My dad goes, 4 people calling in sick. You're working the catering. You're helping me today.
Right.
So I'm scooping, cleaning toilets.
Right.
It's like it doesn't ever sleep.
No. Once you're in the restaurant business, it's all day.
What advice can you give to upcoming chefs and even trying to become a consultant too? Like, what's a way they could shift to it and not make the big mistakes as one would?
The best thing to be a restaurant consultant is try to work in as many restaurants as you can, but not in the same position. Try to do all the positions that you can.
Because they could fool you. Like, I know this.
After you work in like maybe 10 restaurants, you'll know like they're all exactly the same. They all have the same problems. They all have you start speaking that same language to everyone.
Yeah, when was the first time you landed your biggest client? As when you go, okay, I feel like beyond legit now.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing is a lot of clients that hire me, I can't really talk about them. It's part of the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I hired this multi-unit thing in the city, I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I could buy something hot to eat today.
Well, I know you're a watch collector though, because I know a lot of people out there might be collectors. How do you pick? What's your dream watch though that you could pick out?
I love all watches. I love expensive watches because if my wife ever kicks me out, I have enough money for a security deposit for an apartment.
Did you meet your wife through the restaurant industry too?
Yeah, I met my wife. She was a waitress at a restaurant, and I'm like, wow, that girl's. The first day I go into a restaurant, I try to talk to the hottest girl, and then I work my way down. So she was the hottest girl, and I nailed it the first day. I was like, she's talking to me. That never happened before.
Did you offer Taylor Swift tickets?
Maybe not.
All right.
Dick.
Shake it off.
Nice.
I love Tay-Tay, though. I can't.
I don't know who that is. I don't know. You made me scared. I want to take a shower. You just said.
How is it to work in those food festivals? Like, they're so massive and.
Oh, the food and wine festivals?
Yeah.
Man, they've really changed. I mean, I remember when they used to be. When Lee Schrager, when he first started, they were so simple and homey, and now it's like this juggernaut of advertising, and every year, like the passes around your neck, they look like the size of a photo album from the 70s, these giant things, and
it's almost like Comic-Con now, food, because there's so many foodies out there.
Here's the thing, you can reason with nerds, right?
Yeah.
Foodies are unreasonable people. They're like live in fantasy land. You know what I mean? They all like talk about the restaurant they went to that they never went to in France and stuff. And like they're just the weird people, man.
Do you ever get annoyed when people go, Carl, your dish is great, but I know how to make it better?
All the time. Or like, oh, you want a restaurant? Let me tell you. You know what you should have at your restaurant? I'm like, what do you have at your restaurant? What's your restaurant called? Broken Dreams? I've never been to your restaurant.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you, Carl. We are gonna be moving on. We're excited because I can smell the burgers, Carl. Do you?
I don't know if that's you or the burgers, but I know I've never seen you more excited to interview somebody than Mark Boom Boom Shake Shack.
No, actually it's the Burger Baron Hot Dog Duke and Custard King, Mark Rosati.
Oh my God. They should play like White Wedding when he walks in.
Well, I'm going to tear up because I know he brought the chicken sandwich that we can finally try.
Listen,
yes.
If they told you can have free chicken sandwiches for life, would you dance in front of him like White Snake on the hood of a Jaguar for him?
I'll do it for one chicken sandwich right now. I would do it right now for one chicken sandwich. But right now, we're going to bring in to the studio the culinary director of Shake Shack, Mark Rosati. Well, Carl, we have a big guest coming in. He's the Burger Baron, the Hot Dog Duke, and the Custard King. Mark Rosati, the culinary director of Shake Shack. Thank you for stopping by the food court. Mark, tell us a little bit about your background before you became, before you had this awesome job of being the culinary director of Shake Shack.
Well, I originally wanted to work in film and television. I thought that was so much fun. I love the creative aspect of it. So I came to New York City to try to make it in the business, and I had a pretty fun run of it. But after September 11th, most of the industry that I was working in went back to LA.
Yeah. And
at that time, I didn't love it. I have a lot of family there.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of interested, but I was like, oh God, I guess it really is East Coast, West Coast, and I'm an East Coast person, damn it.
Yeah, you want the seasons at least.
Exactly. So I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I've always loved restaurants, and I would start to hang out in a lot of them. And I befriended bartenders, servers, chefs, to the point where we would hang out after work, and I'd say, I have a question. Chicken dish you did. Awesome. Super crispy skin. How did you do that? Why is your chicken so much better than my pathetic attempt back in my apartment? And they're like, well, we dry out the skin, we season it, we put the pan on this part of the oven to really like intensify the heat around the chicken. I'm like, genius. So I really started to get into it. I watched more TV shows, I bought books. And after a while, I was a complete geek. I was totally hooked on like the idea of cooking. I cooked for my friends. Luckily, I met Chef Tom Colicchio of Gramercy Tavern at the time.
Awesome.
And he's like, if you ever want to come in and watch us cook, because I was hitting him with so many questions about how he would cook in the tavern.
Was he annoyed though? Because he seemed like a guy that could be annoyed quickly.
This was before Top Chef.
Oh, wow.
So I was a fan. He only had Gramercy at the time. And he was like, yeah, man, come on in, watch us cook. And I'll never forget, I showed up in a suit. And the sous chef at the time started laughing. He goes, listen, man, you get beat up if you dress in a suit in a kitchen. He's like, never do it again. We'll put you on chef whites and checker pants, and we'll never talk about this.
Nice.
He's like, I know you're not in the business. So I'll never forget watching all the different cooks on their stations and like just how amazing it was to watch them work really fast with knives and like hot pans. And then I remember seeing the meat roaster pull out a steak out of the oven and start basting it with foaming butter, thyme, and garlic. I'm like, I'm in. I want in. Where do I sign up?
That's delicious.
So I actually went back and trailed a few times after that. And I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I can do this. And Tom laughed. He's like, dude. He's like, you just hang out, man. We don't really put the pressure on you. He's like, if you want to come back for work, I did it for 2 months for free. At the end, he's like, you got the job, man. He's like, welcome aboard.
And where did you start at? Like, once you got the job, where did Tom put you, like, starting? Like, this is where you're going to start and learn the basics.
Yes. Well, he actually had me do fun jobs, like everything from cleaning wild mushrooms to pushing bone marrow out of the actual bones.
Those are the fun jobs?
Those are the fun. Well, see, the thing is, I could have been
that
like...
That explains why you're doing so well.
I could have been like cutting onions or peeling carrots, but I was
did
like...
the fun jobs. I mopped the freezer floor.
I'm peeling the skin off a sweetbread. I'm like, this is kind of fun because it's not like the stuff that I thought I would do, like peel a potato. It was actually like touching really fun ingredients that to me, I had no idea how to work with them, let alone even where to buy them.
Food nerd alert.
So, oh, totally. So I was like, this is super cool. And then after I started in the tavern cooking over a hearth grill. And that's when I started to learn more about actually organizing myself and like cooking in a restaurant setting.
Now, I read that someone that you actually passed up per se to work for Shake Shack.
That's very true. Two different jobs,
Smart
actually.
move.
Well, the funny thing was, I was at a crossroads. I had worked at Gramercy for about 3 years. I worked with half that time with Tom Colicchio and then the new chef, Mike Anthony. So two powerhouse talents, learning very different styles. I'm like, I want to keep growing in this business, but is it more cooking or do I want to learn from the house? So I had a friend that worked at Per Se. He set up the interview in the trail, and I was offered a job to work in the back of the house. I'm like, great. This is like one of the best restaurants in the world. I can really hone my craft.
They make you dress like a minion back there. You know that, right? Per se, like everyone's like,
They drank the Kool-Aid.
There is a
Thomas
uniform
Keller
for sure.
is my father. Thomas Keller is my
The funny
father.
thing
It's like
was-
Jonestown.
Exactly.
The funny thing is when I did go, I was sent an email. By the way, make sure you have black pants, black shoes, black socks.
yeah, it's like
and,
it's like
we'll
a
give you the
cult.
apron.
It's the Scientology of
Yeah.
restaurants.
Did they go drink the Kool-Aid here?
What a fun kitchen though. Would have
Was
been a
it?
great place to
Yeah.
work because the cooks have so much input on the menu. Like all cooks look at the menu, they make tweaks, say, let's change the wording of this. I think the dish is better like this every day. So talk about a place where like sink or swim. You are going to learn to cook and you're also going to be additive. We're not telling you what to do. You're going to tell us how we're going to make this place better. I was like, wow, that's kind of fun. But I also wanted to learn front of the house. So I was offered a job in the front of the house. And they're like, you have no experience. We don't even know why we're going to ask you to do this. But you work for Danny Meyer and Gramercy, so you probably can do something. We'll
Right.
figure out what that is. It's probably just maybe cutting butter for service, but
And you do like touching ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh,
you
for
just-
sure, they
touch
already
stuff
knew
all day.
about my bone marrow
Yeah.
work at
You can touch
Gramercy.
people's food.
Oh my God, those mushrooms are so nice.
Bring the bone marrow guy in.
Yeah, they're like we hear he can do wonders. So, but then Shake Shack came up, and at the end of the day, it was a management role, which again I was grossly underqualified for at the time. But there was something about Shake Shack, and I loved working for Danny Meyer. I started off with Tom because I loved the food, but once I got in and started to really understand the culture, what made Danny who he was, then I really was like, this is such a great environment.
Did,
So-
did Daniel love you because you were not that you're qualified, but you were such passion and you're the go-getter? Did he kind of give you the break to get in?
I think that's what it was. And then I found out there were so many people in the company that have had the same path as I did that came from completely a different field, but they were touched by just restaurants and food and people. And then the next thing you know, they find their way to Danny's door and he's like, you know, let's see if you can work in the business. I'm definitely going to give you the shot. So I think that's really rare.
It seems like he does have the golden touch right now.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. We learned so much from working with him.
When did you start the menu development at Shake Shack? Was that your first job in Shake Shack, or was
Yeah,
that?
how did you jump from one to another? Because menu development is like this quasi front of the house, back of the house kind of thing.
Yeah. It started off as a management job, but I just could not get my head out of the kitchen. So like when I'd be on break, I'd go over the grill and like maybe start doing something different, like sauteing my onions on the grill before smashing my burger on top and doing some fun stuff like that. And my boss at the time saw that. He goes, you really got your head in food. He's like, why don't you keep it there? He's like, we have a menu that has not changed in about 2.5 years. And if you have some ideas, let us know. So one of the ideas was maybe adding new custard flavors to our rotating custard calendar,
Good
which
idea.
had been there for a while.
God bless you right now.
God bless you.
So the format had already been there when I started, but it really hadn't evolved too much. So my role is to kind of think of new ideas and pitch them to my boss, make the flavors. And I guess he kind of liked them. So that happened a few more times.
Yeah, what's brilliant about you that I read that you find other places like it's which was one, the Milk and Cookies Bakery has like the best velvet red cake.
For sure.
You go there and you buy their product to put into your custard.
Yeah, that's
You team up with all these great places.
and that's something now we do international, and it's kind of part of my job is to find people that I really admire and love working with, because at the end of the day, we know how to make milkshakes and burgers. That's what we do. But to make the world's best brownie or the world's best red velvet, there are people that spend as long figuring out that craft as we
good
have
point.
like smashing and griddling a burger. So we rather work with them because they're awesome.
Yeah, once you guys team with Dominic and Sel, like, okay, I love you guys.
Yeah, we did that actually.
The cronut.
Yeah, we did a special cronut concrete for one day. We sold over $1,200.
Yeah,
the
the
money
line
went to
was
charity.
insane.
Line was insane.
I did text Dominique, and he snuck me in. I did donate, but I
There he
just
goes
took,
again.
I took him and
Sneaky
run.
free food rolling.
Yeah. So, what time?
Imagine a grown man texting another one for a free donut.
It's during my sad month.
He's like, okay, come into the back. We'll sneak one out the back door. Thank you.
Hi, Dominic. I'm here for my donut.
No, it was Nutella inside the Corona.
Oh, then it's fair. I
It
would
was
have done
very,
the same thing.
It was very magical. Yeah, I mean, you guys are just everywhere. When you develop a menu, which burgers were you responsible for that started taking off?
My first one was the Smoke Shack burger, which
Oh,
is
that's a good one.
it's a bacon cheeseburger, topped with shack sauce, and then the star of the show are pickled chopped cherry peppers.
Those are phenomenal.
And I didn't actually know if I wanted to show that to my boss because to me it felt like a very ethnic hamburger. And we're kind of an American-inspired roadside burger stand. I'm like, there's no place for cherry peppers. The idea was, as a kid, I grew up in an Italian-American household. We would have pork chops with chopped cherry peppers for Sunday. And the cherry peppers, I always loved how they had zip and they cut through the fat and richness of a pork chop. So I'm thinking to myself, we don't have bacon on the menu. It would be too easy to add bacon because everyone would put on the Shack burger. There's nothing really exciting about that. I'm like, let's create a burger based around the flavors of bacon. So I'm like, bacon, cheeseburger, shack sauce, butter bun. This is super heavy. And then I thought about the cherry peppers and how they do add like a lot of acidity and brightness that they can leave your palate feeling clean. So to me, I'm thinking, okay, I got an Italian burger here. My boss looks at it and goes, oh, dude, it's an awesome cheeseburger with bacon and pickles. I'm like, yeah, you don't see anything like there. And he's Italian American too. He's like, no, he's a cheeseburger with bacon and pickles. I'm like, cool,
Italian
dude.
from where? Wisconsin?
Jersey.
Oh, same thing.
So that was the first burger, and that was the first burger that was actually added to the menu since the inception of Shake Shack. That's about maybe 5 years old.
Is that still your favorite burger when you go?
It is because of that connection I have with it. Since then, we've done a lot more different burgers, and right now we do have a special one on all of our menus.
The roadside?
Roadside Shack, yeah.
Yeah, I went by. It was very good.
Oh, thank you.
Is that one of yours?
It was. The idea behind that was to make a cheeseburger just a little more juicy, a little more sloppy, and a lot more flavorful. So the onions are simmer with bacon.
It has a good bacon bite.
It does, and it's just the onions were designed to amplify the beefiness of the burger. So it's very simplistic. It's probably the simplest burger we've ever done with just this
Those are the
one
best.
topping. Yeah, and I feel like if you can save volumes with that one ingredient, those are usually the best.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, right now you guys are even in was it London, Dubai, and you're going to open your Tokyo one coming up soon.
Yeah, that's less than 2 weeks. We'll be opening our first location in Japan.
Well, I have to go on record. We've interviewed a lot of people. I've never seen Roland in love and fawning over someone and finishing his sentences like your soulmates.
You know what?
You mean the
I love
Meister?
Shake Shack.
Do you mean the Meister burger? Yes, we're talking about it. Yes.
So when I text you at night saying you Shake Shack burger, let me cut the line.
I
The feeling is mutual in this room.
I'll be crying like, help me cut the line, please.
Invite you to a Louis C.K. concert. Don't go.
Only if you have cupcakes, I'll show up. That's only.
Cupcakes, burgers, comedy. I'm in.
Yeah.
You're in trouble now.
When you're overseas, though, how long do you spend, like in London, Dubai, to develop a Shake Shack? Like, do they have burgers that we won't have ever here?
That they do. Some do. Even here in America, we have burgers in some cities that are very unique. Like in Austin, we have a really cool burger called the Lockhart Link, which uses a sausage from Kreutz Market.
Nice.
So we do that on occasion, especially the concretes. I'll tell you, when we opened London, we were there about a year before that one actually opened working because we localized a very large portion of that menu. So instead of like shipping over our beef from the States, we went up to Aberdeen, Scotland, and found some amazing Angus. And then we had to find the butcher. We had to find the Pat Lafreda of the UK. So all those moving pieces took a lot of time to get it right. And we were very passionate about doing that everywhere we go. So Japan, I'm proud to say a lot of that menu is going to be local to Japan too.
Oh,
How about
nice.
bread? When you try, like getting bread, like that kind of bread somewhere else
Yeah.
is hard, right?
It is very, very hard. We've always been fans of potato rolls. And we've actually have two different ones that we have. We have the one that we have here in the States, which is a potato roll everyone knows and love. And then some of our countries internationally, it's a bit of a different version of it. And at the end of the day, we just want to make sure it's the same size because it's all about the beef with Shake Shack. When you bite into it, you should get a big beef patty, and the bun is there to support and hold the juices, not the other way around where you get a tiny patty and massive bun.
Yeah.
So it's very important to us.
I saw you brought the elusive Brooklyn chicken sandwich that is only in Brooklyn.
Yes.
I go and they sell out.
We did this whole show so Roland can have a chicken sandwich.
Shut up, Carl.
Brought to him here in Midtown.
Yes. That's not true, Carl. Shut up.
You're literally pointing at a bag. Are you pointing at a paper bag? I know it's in there.
I know it's in there. I double checked.
Wow.
So
They're beautiful.
This right here is our chicken sandwich, something that you can only find in our 3 Brooklyn Shacks. And it's something we'd been working on for a very long time, and we wanted to have fun. We thought Brooklyn was the perfect place to do it, and we launched it this summer because we have 3 Shacks out there. I live out there. A lot of our team members live out there. We thought, wouldn't it be fun to give it a shot and do something different? Because
everyone that touches food and thinks touching food's cool lives in Brooklyn.
isn't that true? Isn't it true?
Every single one of them.
So I see a lot of handcrafted stuff going on out there.
Artisanal.
Yes.
I read that you guys are opening the one in Williamsburg. Is that true, or that one is just rumored to be open?
That's a rumor to be opening. That one's news to me.
Oh,
Well, if you don't know about it,
if you don't know about it, we call bullshit.
I guess it'll be opening next month.
Yeah, come on, yeah. And if it is open, is there a special card I hear about that you cut the line, or is that
That's all he cares about.
Yeah. Can I hear on the internet there's a special card?
I can debunk that right now because I'll tell you, when Danny Meyer shows up with his family and all his children, he waits in line. And if he's waiting
If
in
I was
line,
worth $3 gazillion, I would wait in line. I have nothing else to do. The helicopter's fueled. I'm good.
so it's always like, I don't know if I can let you in because, I mean, everyone else waits. And it's really part of that experience. Right. And, like, I can't tell you how many people that we know have started talking in that line, started dating, and got married and asked us to cater their wedding. So we kind of think that's really cool.
Yeah, that is. But back to the chicken burger. Since it's in the box, we might as well pass it around.
Thank you for the feel-good story, Mark.
Now get to the chicken.
Yeah, and but also with Shake Shack, your logo is simple. And it's most recognizable right now too.
It's a batter one, huh?
Yes.
Talk to me about this.
So what we have here is
Roland is literally.
I'll go ahead then.
It's an all-natural, hormone antibiotic-free chicken breast. That's marinated in buttermilk, and then we toss it in that batter there, fry it so it's crunchy and crisp and very soft on the inside.
What type of chicken? What part of the chicken is it?
So it's a breast.
All right.
And we serve it with some dill pickles, just a little bit of shredded lettuce in there, and then my favorite part of it is the buttermilk herb mayo that's on there because we wanted to echo the flavor that that's on the breast.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And myself, I just love that kind of tangy flavor. It's one of my favorites.
I can taste it right now.
Yeah.
I got this, Roland. You just enjoy yourself.
And, we spent a long time working on this. Because
I love the sour pickles too.
Me too.
Oh man, it really makes the sandwich good.
I love the crunch of it. I love the refreshing note that the lettuce gives. It's something that, again, we just wanted to have a little bit of fun this summer out in Brooklyn.
How long did it take you to figure this out? Because chicken is not beef. Chicken is its own animal.
It is its own animal, and we started to work on that about 2 years ago, actually, maybe even a little longer. And we just said to ourselves jokingly, if we were to say do a chicken sandwich, what would that be? Right. We've tried griddled, we tried the fried ones. At the end of the day, and we had so many tastings with our team. This is the one that we felt was really embraced everything that Shake Shack stood for. I mean, it was a very comforting, very delicious, using the best ingredients we could. We felt this was the one that we all were the most excited about. And
it's still juicy. It's really good.
Yeah.
I love it. Are you guys going to still do what you did last year? Like you got Daniel Hum, David Chang creating their own burgers, and are you going to do that again this summer?
So we did that because of our 10-year anniversary. We wanted to really commemorate that week. So we do those on occasion. I actually just did a collaboration with a very talented chef in London by the name of Sap Baines, 2-star Michelin. Cool thing about him, he's 2 hours north of London in Nottingham. He lives like literally a block from the Sherwood Forest. Like the castle of Nottingham where the sheriff lived is there. Oh, wow. So his burger was taking all these ingredients that he was passionate about from the Sherwood Forest and bringing them onto a delicious hamburger that felt very much like Shake Shack. Oh, wow. So he foraged some porcini mushrooms, made a mushroom ketchup. He had he went and got oak trees from the forest and used it to smoke an emulsion and made a smoked mayonnaise. He used cheese that was from cows that graze in the Sherwood Forest. It was over the top.
So you guys almost basically did a farm to table, but
Pretty
but
much.
his version.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
So anytime we get a chance to do something fun, we don't do them often, but
Roland invites the farm to his table. Let me ask you a question.
yes.
Now, how did you decide on this batter? Because it's beautiful. It's been sitting in a
Yep.
box and it's still crunchy. That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of work, and it was just also a lot of time experimenting. We have a culinary team of 3, and everyone's job is to really try every single different method out there. And it's fun for us because there's a lot of education that happens along the way too. But when we do something at Shake Shack, we have to be mindful that, we have a very busy restaurant, and if we add something to the restaurant, that it's got to fit in and not like really hinder what those guys do best, which is just cooking awesome burgers and fries. So this was definitely something new. We tried 100 different versions. And then when we found this, and then it was like, let's try this version of a batter. Let's try dusting it like this. Let's soak it for X amount of hours and dust it and soak it again and fry. It's like,
That's not a bullshit pickle either.
no.
I'm a pickle guy. Eric's a pickle guy here. So I judge a lot of things
Yep.
by what's around it. I mean, the chicken's good, but a
Yeah.
lot of people mess up. Like they get a bad pickle. That pickle has a nice crunch.
No, that's super important to us because again, besides acidity, it should be offered some great texture to the sandwich too. And if an ingredient does not speak volumes, as we said, doesn't belong on our menu.
Love it.
I read that you're responsible for the 300 custard flavors. Is that true?
Yeah,
That-
it's grown.
Wow.
We were always playing around, and every year we try to develop at least.
You walk around with like a little briefcase with a handcuff on.
Yeah, the master files. we always try to come out every year with a new calendar where there's at least 5 to 10 new flavors. We do it international too. Our Middle East calendars are slightly different, like that maybe have different ingredients. Like maybe there's a coffee cardamom flavor for the Middle East because that flavor is really popular over there. So we're always trying to make sure each Shake Shack, not only every city, but also like domestically or internationally feels very special of their neighborhood.
Yeah. Do you change the menu though? Like the fall's coming up for the winter time. Is it different than the summertime now? Or?
It does. So what we'll do is we always have a seasonally inspired lemonade. So right now we have a cranberry ginger. So we have that going on right now, echoing the season. But we also have one of my favorite menu items, and it's only around for a short period of time. It's called the pumpkin pie oh my, and it's a slice of pumpkin pie blended into vanilla frozen custard. And we top with just enough whipped cream to kind of balance it all. I love pumpkin, and when it gets cold out, it's the first thing I think of.
When you do something pumpkin on a menu, does it bring those pumpkin weirdos?
I don't know those pumpkin weirdos, but
they
they might be
live-
friends
they
of
all
mine
live
if
in
they
my
love
neighborhood.
pumpkins.
There is society.
There's
I
a
mean,
society. We were looking at
Really?
it.
yeah.
There's a
it's
private society that
an
they
orange.
have
The orange society.
The Orange Society, and they wear all pumpkin stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
really.
interesting.
Yeah, they come out for Starbucks. They
Stay
get
away
all the
from-
pumpkin
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, stay away from them.
I think that's fun. I mean, like anytime you can really riff off the seasons, I think that's when menus are at their best.
Yeah, even your Instagram. It's like, how do you do those shots? They're like the best food porn pictures I've seen.
Oh, thank you. I just gotta say, like, I love food. It's just a natural affinity. I do love
And
food,
touching it.
so touching it. And there are some photos where I think I am touching the food.
Yeah, if you want to see, it's Mark_Rosati, Rosati, for his Instagram. I mean, you have pictures from all over the world from food.
Yes.
What's your favorite cuisine when you go to a different country like London or Dubai?
I do love the food scene in London a lot these days. I find it very inspiring. I think it's as excellent as New York, but people think about food and flavors a little differently, so it feels fresh. Dubai, I love shawarma. I can't get enough of it over there. It's my favorite.
I like golden giraffes and shawarma.
I go for baby tigers.
I have a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex in my room.
Those are very rare. Very delicious.
Not in
I hear.
Dubai. They have 3 stores.
Yes.
Tastes like chicken though.
And now that we're coming up on opening in Tokyo, I've been spending a lot of time eating over there. And the thing I fell in love with is fried pork tonkatsu. Oh my God, it's
That's
next
the best.
level there. It's so crunchy, delicious, and
It's
I
good
cry-
everywhere too.
It
you
is.
can't get a
It
bad
is.
one.
I know. And it's the same thing with ramen. The ramen there is so inexpensive. It's so delicious. And there's so many varied versions. I had one with yuzu the other day. It was like yuzu and soy. And I was like, oh, this is revelatory. I couldn't get enough of it.
Flavors. I mean, Japan
Yeah.
is my favorite place in the whole world. Like to eat.
So
It's
delicious.
fantastic.
Would you guys do a ramen burger? Because
Please don't.
Yeah,
You guys got a good
I-
thing going. Please.
Those are awesome, and it's something that I think what makes our burger so unique is our bun. So it'd probably be different for us to do a version like that, but I did have the ramen burger many times in
Mark,
Williamsburg.
I think we've become friends. Number one, I've never seen Roland love another man the way he is love you.
It's the burgers.
So I think we're like Christmas friends. We've exchanged gifts. You brought stuff. We gave you stuff. We got stuff.
You guys are all on my holiday card list.
Let me ask you now a real question. What is your favorite chicken sandwich besides this one?
That's a very, very good question because I've eaten many.
I know you've eaten all of them.
Many
You
over-
have a black card with Danny's name on it. You can...
over the years. I'm going to have to get on a plane, go out to Los Angeles, and go to Son of a Gun.
Son of a gun, right?
That's a pretty awesome chicken sandwich.
good
It
one.
is a tower of goodness,
That's a
and
good
I was lucky that I was out there about a month ago, and that was like the first stop off the plane.
Right.
I got that out of the way, and then I was like, okay, I'm in LA, I can relax. And I got my fried food quota met for the day.
That's a good place.
But I think their fried chicken sandwich is really fantastic, and it's the one I think about when I start to travel.
So I just came from the South, and I was in Nashville, and I ate Hattie B's, the hot chicken sandwich.
I've never had it, but that's the
Dude,
top of my list.
Dude, go. It's a lot like this. Like
Yep.
you say batter, but it's a hot. You got to check it out.
I do.
If Shake Shack does a hot chicken sandwich, I'm telling you, it'll be crazy. New York is virgin to the whole hot sandwich thing.
I can't wait to
We
try
did the
it.
Food and Wine Festival in Nashville, and everyone was online for the sandwich. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, it's got to be good because
Yeah.
it's free like everything else, and there's a line. So we
Yeah.
got there. It's the best. Check it out.
I met the chef John last year at a food and wine event, and I'm like, dude, when I get on him, I'm coming to you soon. I gotta try. I've heard
I'm
great
telling you.
things.
I'm
So
telling you.
top of my list, and Nashville in general. I've never been.
I can't
so.
wait for you to do one and then drive John out of business in 30 seconds. You're like the Death Star. No. Shake Shack is here with their responsible packaging and their delicious pickles.
I know. Even when we go to the airport, remember
Bye-bye, little Hattie B's.
it was when we were in JFK. The first thing we went was for Shake Shack.
Oh, my God.
Like, we had two fat guys in there, probably must go Shake Shack.
So, I'll tell you a funny Shake Shack story. I mean, I've been in the restaurant business in New York my whole life, and you guys were opening up, and I knew one of the guys. He had a little hamburger place like 2 blocks away, right? I'm not going to say any names. So he's sitting there. So he goes to me. He goes, Cuban, what do you think about this Shake Shack? I said, I would keep your T-shirts because they're going to be collectibles in about 2 months, bro. You're done. Like old school hamburgers. I mean, before you came, all these little mom and pops are frozen patties and just garbage. Canned pickles and little things. And you do the little things right. Just like Japanese food. Not a lot of ingredients, but they're all right.
Oh, I totally agree about the quality of ingredients.
Yeah.
It can be a game changer. And
Like,
when
that's still good.
when we started out 11 years ago, looking at the patty itself, we put so much time in developing that blend with Pat LaFreda that I was like, with all that work and all that flavor, it's like we got to make sure the bun is as awesome but does not take away from it. Again, so if you just get a plain burger with a bun, we feel from us it's going to be really great because we thought about the most basic elements and made sure they were wonderful.
How is it to work with Daniel Meyer? Is he like he listens to your ideas, or he's kind of like, I got my own ideas?
It's a lot of both, actually. He always has some amazing ideas. I remember one of our most talked about custard flavors that we still run. It's called which one is it? Raspberry fromage blanc swirl.
Oh,
So this is one, right? This is.
Oh.
I see you enjoy that one.
go on.
Go
it's
on.
like you're reading
Tell me more.
It's like you're reading him a Daniel Steele novel on the beach.
He's like, and then what happened?
And then what? And then what?
So Danny was actually vacationing in Spain, and he sent me a very quick email going. He wrote the flavor. I goes, just had it. He actually had sorbet. He's like, think this could be a great custard flavor if you have time. So I'm like, that sounds great. And Danny's just full of a wonderful idea. So of course I went back and I made it that day and tried. And I was like, okay, it's very good. It's tangy. It's balanced with sweetness. So I thought fromage blanc might be an alienating word where people are like, I don't know what that is. I don't want that. When we run that in the summertime, we sell so many of those, and it's a staff favorite too. And that's,
New Yorkers
that's
notoriously buy things that they don't know what they are.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Oh, fromage blanc. I'll have 2 of those.
It's limited edition.
Yes. Is that good for dogs? Can I get one for my dog
no.
too? He likes.
My dog loves fromage blanco.
So he does bring a lot of amazing ideas, and he's still so passionate about Shake Shack and always popping in and seeing how we're doing.
Is there something that you guys are creating now that you talk about, or like a new burger or new like a custard that you're working on right now?
Well, I'll tell you what's really exciting for me is we're going to be opening our first Shake Shack in California.
Oh,
towards the
boy.
start of next year. And just that alone, because I think that's one of the very exciting food cities of America right now. It's so happening. There's so many great restaurants out there. And for us to finally be in California, and that's our first city, like I want that menu to really feel like, kind of an ode to everything that's great about Los Angeles and talk about like the cradle of burger culture.
Would you have like a waffle burger?
You're going
Like
into
fried
the
chicken
real
and waffles?
Like a waffle bun inside the chicken.
I just came back from Northern California. I mean, you got Jack in the Box. You got, just the chains.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The East Coast is the worst.
Yeah.
Right? They got Carl's Jr. They have, you name it, Fat Burger.
In-N-Out.
And then
There's
In
so
and Out.
many out there.
You guys it's going to be like a Jedi fight. It's going to be great because it's the East Coast way of thinking and the West Coast way of thinking.
Yeah.
And they got it down.
They do. And like when I was younger, when I would go out to California, try to be convinced I could live out there back in the day, my aunt, I was like maybe 15 years old again, kind of a foodie at heart. And I touched down in LA to visit my aunt. And she goes, I'm going to take you to dinner. Where do you want to go? I'm like, I heard about Wolfgang Puck and Spago. She goes, no. She's like, we're going to get burgers. I'm like, burgers? I
What? You
flew
didn't
all the
want
way out
smoked salmon
here.
pizza?
She didn't want that. To
God,
her, that was insane.
She's right.
Yeah.
Actually-
So she took me In-N-Out Burger for the first time. I had no idea what it was. I was still mad. I'm thinking about pizza. And then like I take a bite. I'm like, oh my God, I will never question you again. This is wonderful.
And thank you. We're actually out of time, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness.
It's Mark Rosati, culinary director of Shake Shack. You go to shakeshack.com. Same thing for the Twitter, it's Shake Shack. Or go to see Mark's Instagram. Amazing pictures at Mark_ROSATI. Mark, thank you very much for coming by the Roland's Food Court.
Thank you
And
very
Carl, thanks for making it and breaking laws.
Thank you guys both so much. Pleasure.
Thank you again to Mark Rossetti for stopping by. Thank you to Carl Ruiz. You can see him at Twitter at Carl Ruiz. Also, you can check out my Twitter at Rolandos99. And also, please check out the Food Court on YouTube and also on Instagram at Roland's Food Court. And the show will be up later on Sirius XM On Demand. Goodbye.
Hi, this is Roland Campos. Bye.
Roland's Food Court is now closed. If you missed it or want to hear it again, check it out on Sirius XM On Demand. Also, check out Roland's Food Court on Instagram. Till next time.